Hello everyone, peace of Christ to all. In this video today, we are going to expose, as usual, some of the deceptions which is very normal for Muslims to do. And today we will talk about how the women, she get pregnant and the stages of the embryo and the baby, etc. However, the topic is not really complicated, it's very simple. And the Quran, uh, because it's made by someone claimed to be coming from God, he should always come with a story which is very funny, very stupid. And the Muslims today, they are taking advantage of those who do not know Arabic in order to deceive you, so you will believe that really the Quran is a book of science. When the Quran actually is not only not a book of science, it is totally the opposite. However, here, the Muslims spend a lot of money making very professional videos, trying to deceive those who do not know and trying to make you believe that this is an amazing book. This is really a fantastic book. In this video here, we will see the following. And he's talking about simply chapter 23, and he's saying from verse 12 to 14. Let us see what this guy is saying, and let us refute, not only refute actually, destroy the Quran, because in the beginning of the video he said, if we find a contradiction in this book is not valid no more. And if we find that this test, the Quran, if this Quran failed in this test, the Quran cannot be the book of God. So let us do what he actually asked for, to put the Quran into the test. But first let us listen to the other side of the story, which is the Muslim story, so we can show you the deception.
God is said to give a detailed description of how the human being is formed. It begins by saying, we then placed him as a sperm drop in a place of settlement.
So I want you to notice with me here, his God, he is talking about a sperm drop, all right? And then that sperm drop is going to turn into something else. Let us see.
Firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into a alaq.
Thank you very much. So then we made the drop into alaqa. What is the drop? It's the sperm. It is the sperm. So according to the Quran, the sperm itself transformed to be the embryo. There's no egg. You notice with me? So from the beginning here, we see the deception. And here you notice here, he took off the sperm word and he kept only the drop because he don't want you to notice that this is the sperm he just talked about a second ago. So it is very funny way of deception for those who they are naive, but that will not work with us. As you see here, remember, this is a sperm drop. In the second statement, the drop show only the sperm that disappear, and that is done on purpose. Let us continue.
Firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into a alaqa.
So the drop transform into alaqa, which means the sperm transform into alaqa. Is that what science says? False. Because simply the sperm would go and do activation for the egg of the women, and then the sperm is dead. Actually, the sperm disappear. It will not be transformed into something. And the only things the sperm does, actually it's two things, activation of the egg and delivering the DNA of the male person. But it's not the drop will transform into something else, as the Quran says. Let us continue.
We will translate this word very soon. And then we changed the alaqa.
So you see now, the sperm became an alaqa and the alaqa became something else. And this is not what the science says. This is absolutely false. Until now, there is no egg at all. Notice, sperm became a blood, the blood became something else.
Into a lump. Then we made out of that lump into bones. And then we clove the bones with flesh. Then we caused him to grow and come into being and attain the definitive human form. In the 21st century, we can now safely say that this verse is clearly describing the process of human development in correct chronological order. However, what we should be paying attention to in particular is the second stage, referring to the development.
Why the second stage? Why the second stage? Why the first stage? But anyway, let us go to the second stage.
Of the embryo. The specific word used to describe the embryo in this verse is the word alaqa.
See, he didn't want to talk about the sperm turn into alaqa. And by the way, alaqa means a congealed blood, which means it's a dead blood. So look how he tried to say it. First, he tried to ignore the sperm. He did not want to talk about the sperm at all because he didn't want them to notice that the Quran is speaking about the sperm turn into a clot. He didn't want to ignore that part because that part alone will expose the Quran. However, he will try to play his game here, but look how funny it is.
The word halaqa, when translated into English, can mean three separate things. Firstly, a blood clot, or to be suspended, that is to be hanging or clinging to something, or thirdly and finally, a leech.
Actually, all his translation is a fabrication because simply it is the same thing, which is a blood clot, which is hanging in something. This is why it's called a clot. So it's not or. It is about dead blood which is hanging in something. It can be hanging in your skin, in your eye, in your head, wherever you get injury. It is a dead blood. And there is nowhere in any stage because dead blood will never grow. It's dead. This is why it's called clot. Now, just to expose the fabrication here, let us make it short. Why I wanna waste my time speaking about this. Let us see if what he's saying is true, but I will play a little bit more of the video and I will show you that it is not or, it is blood clot which is hanged on something. Which is always hanged on where? Supposedly according to the Quran, in the belly of the women. However, there is no stage of the embryo he will turn into a blood clot where it's suspended and hanged on something. Not even ever. A blood starts in a certain time to develop, but the embryo it's not a blood. The embryo is not a leash of a blood. The embryo is not a leash of a blood which is suspended. So they try to fool you saying it's or, and then look what he will say.
Now, all three definitions don't come anywhere near what we perceive to be the human embryo. So, why are these words used and what significance do they share with the human embryo?
Let us see.
Can the embryo be described as a blood clot? Well, what do you think? In the third week of embryonic
So he just said in the third week. He just said in the third week you will start having blood. But he just said, can the embryo be described as a blood clot? Look at the question.
development.
So the blood in the third week start development, but already we have an embryo. If we go to the stages of embryo, here we go, you will see that in the second week, the cells of the embryo start creating blood, but it's not blood. It start creating vessels of blood, but it is not the embryo. There's a huge difference between saying the embryo is a clot blood and saying that the embryo now start to contain blood. There's a huge difference. So simply they try to fool you and say, you see, this is the second stage. It says that in the second stage there is a blood will be, but no, this is not what your Quran is saying. The Quran is saying the sperm turn into blood. And you know what? I'm not going to focus too much in the Abdul, because the Abdul is nothing but a Abdul trying to defend his false, stupid religion. I'm going to go to the biggest Abdul, and the biggest Abdul is Muhammad. Don't tell me, Abdul, that your prophet, he do not know the Quran meaning. If we go to Sahih al-Bukhari, we will see the biggest Abdul in earth. His name is Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, saying the following. And please read with me. According to the Abdul, the big Abdul, Muhammad, that the sperm of the man, and here about the sperm. Remember, the Quran say clearly the word sperm, right? And he put it in the mother womb, and this is a translation saying womb, not me, for 40 days. So according to Muhammad, Sperm live for 40 days and then became a clot. But this Abdul, he just told us that in the second week, according to his prophet, it takes 40 days for the sperm to become a clot, which means became a blood, which is false because the sperm never transformed to be anything. This is false. The sperm will die, deliver DNA, activate the egg, and that's it. His stages is over. It is the egg who is going to be something else. However, there is no way it's going to be a clot. And now somebody might say to you, from where do you get that this is a congealed blood? You know what? We go to the interpretation of the Quran made by Muslims, translated by Muslims in Islamic website. This is the official government website of the King of Jordan, and this is his organization, and this is Tafsir al-Jalalain, and it says there it's into a congealed blood. What will transform? The semen. The semen will be a congealed blood. Is that what science says? So the Muslims, they try to fabricate the story, make it upside down, make it as if it's a science, when the Quran simply is being exposed, being a stupid book, showing clearly that this is nothing to do with science. It's a stupid guy trying to fool those Arab who have no idea. And I believe Muhammad, he noticed that women, when they have an abortion or they lose the baby, a lot of blood come out, and he think the baby in that state is a blood clot or something like this, because the whole story doesn't make sense anyway. So in here you will see, then we transform the clot into a little lump of a flesh, mudgha. This is not my translation. So the sperm into clot of dead blood. You can go to the dictionary, by the way, and search what the dictionary says. Dictionary says that this is when a blood changes from a fluid to state of solid state. Solid state means dead. It's a dead blood, and dead blood never grow, and dead blood will never make a human, and blood doesn't make a human anyway. So all the video is a fabrication, very nice, well done as a video, nice, media, editing, etc. But the value inside is garbage, because Islam is based in deception. And this is why soon my book, I hope maybe within 2 weeks maximum, my book, which is going to be a response for all those false miracles, is going to be in Amazon, ready for people to have it and to read it. And we don't fabricate stories. You see, always we use a reference made by Muslims, translated by Muslims, saved by Muslims, in a Muslim books, approved by Muslims. We do not make our own false stories. We don't make science as the Muslims trying to make when it is not. Even here we go. This is even the translation of the Abdul Yusuf Ali saying, we made the sperm into a clot. Is that what science says? Abdul, come on. And then they will quote for you a potato. He was invited to Saudi Arabia. God knows how much they paid him. He's a doctor. He's saying, must be a science. Where the science, man? Where is sperm transformed into a clot? And how a clot, a congealed blood clot, will become a fetus? Where you get the word fetus from? However, it's very easy to expose the lies by many ways, especially by the help of Muhammad. And here you can read the rest, by the way, of the hadith, which is going to show you how stupid it is, the understanding of Muhammad. Because according to Muhammad, the whole procedure of a human being to be created, it takes 120 days. 40 plus 40 plus 40. You see here, read with me. 40 for the sperm. 40, the sperm stay for 40 days. Sperm. Who said that? How long sperm stay in the women alive? Maximum 72 hours, up to 7 days, 12 hours. That's it. There is no 40 days. So simply, you do not need to be a genius to expose the liars. Just think about it. God bless you all, and please spread the video. And don't forget to come to our room when we open it every Saturday in Path Talk. God bless.